Hello, my name is Rhiannon, and I started this channel to talk about important social and political issues of our generation, things that are important to me and that I feel need to be talked about. And today I want to talk about gun control. And the fact of the matter is that we need stronger gun control in this country. There are almost no gun laws in most states in this country, and I bet a lot of people don't know that. I bet a lot of people don't know that only 16 states require licensing, state licenses to buy, own, and use firearms. That means that there are 34 states in this country that require no licensing to buy and own and use firearms. There are also no laws in most states requiring purchase limits, purchase records, safety or training requirements, theft reporting, background checks, or any other gun laws. That is ridiculous. First, let me dispel a few myths. First of all, Obama has done absolutely nothing about gun control. He is not trying to pass some extreme gun ban legislation like some rumors I have heard are insisting upon. And to the chagrin of the left, he has actually been very unresponsive to the gun crisis in this country. Secondly, the Second Amendment does not guarantee unrestricted gun rights to everyone. The amendment, any more than the First Amendment, is absolute in its intent. And if you don't believe me, you can go into a crowded theater and yell fire and then come back to me and tell me how that went. The Second Amendment clearly states a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of our nation. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. People often forget about the first part of the amendment when they start talking about the Second Amendment, as if they know what they're talking about. The words well-regulated militia are what we call the qualifier of the statement. In either case, our founding fathers, being human and fallible, had no possible way of anticipating the lethality of the weapons of their future. The only things that they had available at the time were one-shot muskets. Single-shot muskets that took several seconds to reload. Certainly we do not want just anyone getting our hands on a nuclear weapon, do we? Well, if you believe that guns should be unregulated, then we should apply that logic to everything, to all guns and all weapons. Otherwise, it's hypocrisy. If you believe that everything should be unregulated, then unregulate everything, and we will see chaos ensue. There is also the illusion that laws do not keep weapons out of the hands of criminals. There is no point in making any laws because it only disarms responsible citizens. Well, there are two things wrong with that statement. First, liberals and gun control advocates in general do not wish to disarm anyone, least of all responsible citizens that acquire legal weapons in a legal manner. Gun control advocates are not usually for gun bans. Gun control does not equate gun bans. And that is not what I'm fighting for. I do not intend to fight to ban guns. Also, laws do work. That is why we are a nation of laws. And nothing's perfect, nothing is absolute. There will always be crime, but it does help significantly. Otherwise, we would not bother making laws regarding anything. We would be a lawless nation. We would have anarchy. I want to read you a piece from my article, Guns in America. One argument against gun control has always been that cars kill more people each year than guns do, but stronger traffic laws and safety requirements and continued testing and licensing requirements account for a steady decline in highway fatalities. Now gun deaths outnumber car fatalities in 10 states, including Arizona, Colorado, Nevada, Michigan, and Virginia. Cars are usually necessary for daily adult functioning, while guns are not. A gun's sole purpose is to maim and kill, while a car's primary purpose is for transportation. More cars are used on a more constant basis than guns also, so the ratio of gun fatalities to gun owners is significantly higher than the ratio of car fatalities to gun owners. 90% of Americans have a car, leading the world in car ownership, while only 32% of households, approximately according to 2011 numbers, have guns. Still, the number of people who die in car wrecks is almost equal to the number of people who die from guns. With cars, we license people to drive through safety tests, eye tests, road tests, and background checks. To drive a car, you need insurance, and your car has to be registered with a visible serial number and license plates. There is also a traffic law for every situation that can be faced on the road. Yet we do not bear the same legal or socially conscious regard for deadly weapons. The assault weapons ban, the assault weapons ban did in fact improve the rate of crime in this country. According to an academic study performed by the Brady Center to Prevent Gun Violence, in the 5-year period before the enactment of the federal assault weapons ban, assault weapons accounted for 4.82% of gun crime. And after it was enacted, that number went down to 1.6%, which is a drop of 66% from the pre-ban rate. Moreover, there was a steady year-by-year decline in the percentage of guns used, indicating that the longer the statute has been in effect, the less available these guns become for criminal misuse. After the ban expired, the number of assault weapons crimes has increased significantly. Now every week we are hearing about a new mass murder in the news, like James Holmes in Colorado, who purchased all of his weapons legally, and many individual gun deaths that get far less attention by the media, many of which are accidents, like the 3-year-old that accidentally shot his father to death, or the father who accidentally shot his son to death right before Christmas. And of course, there is the Newtown tragedy, truly the most horrific shooting in our country's history. We experience more gun deaths in one day than Japan does in 1 year. Yet there are still those that say, "Nay, 'tis not the time to speak of gun control. We need more guns. Train our teachers. Give them guns. And then this will never happen again." They are already overworked, overstressed, underpaid, underappreciated. Arming them should improve the atmosphere of things dramatically. I'm sure that no teacher would ever shoot a child. And I'm sure that no child would ever be able to get their hands on that gun. And I'm sure that a teacher would be able to shoot properly in a moment of panic. And if the gun were locked up in a safe place from the children, it would still somehow be convenient enough to get in a moment's notice. The fact of the matter is, this is common sense. We should require licensing for owning and using any type of firearm. Getting that license should take at least as much effort as earning a driver's license. Getting a license should require safety training, range tests, eye exams, and a mental health analysis, and a background check. Background checks should be required for dealers as well, and all gun sales need to be registered, as all car sales are, as most sales from many different items that we buy every day are tracked. Registration would make it easier to trace guns back to the original owner, and even if the gun was stolen, it would help law enforcement find the original assailant sooner. Laws such as these are part of the reason that countries such as Canada and also Europe can enjoy lower rates of gun deaths and gun violence while still being secure in their legal gun ownership. such as Finland, where there's actually a larger percentage of households that have guns, but because of their laws and regulations, they suffer almost no gun tragedies, no gun violence whatsoever. And that's what I want for this country. This should be common sense. Food is more regulated than guns in America. Guns are one of the least regulated things in this country. Even gun-owning Americans, when asked about specific gun control issues, agree with basic common sense gun control laws. According to a poll of over 900 gun owners, including NRA members, 80% of those gun owners agreed that there should be criminal background checks for buying and owning a weapon. And 64% of NRA members were in favor of mandating people to report when their gun is stolen. 84% of gun-owning Americans believe that we need permits and safety requirements for carrying a concealed weapon, and most of them believe in a 21-year age minimum as well. Yet still most people, not most, but many people are generally have a negative visceral reaction to the general abstract concept of gun control and gun laws. They have been indoctrinated into a mindset of fear and paranoia. The main reason that we don't have stricter gun control laws, like most of the rest of the civilized world, is because of a concerted effort on the part of gun control manufacturers and retailers to prevent such things from happening. Since 2005, corporations have contributed over $52 million to the NRA, and over 38 million of that came directly from the firearms industry. Executive Vice President Wayne LaPierre promised at the time of his new Corporate Partners program that it was designed to suit and appease the corporate interests so that they may create a stronger alliance between the gun manufacturers and the NRA. These board members and investors are committed to an uncompromising resistance to even the most conservative gun control legislation. The National Rifle Association represents itself as a representative of the common people, of responsible gun owners in America. But in reality, they receive most of their funding from large-scale weapons manufacturers and retailers involved in the sale of firearms. Their interests are in corporate profits, and that's it. These contributors seek to make the biggest profit possible by selling as many weapons and ammunition as possible to as many people as possible. So these corporations align themselves with the NRA by funding almost their entire organization so that the NRA can better fight impending legislation within the media and within the court system. That is a travesty on our country. We're doing a disfavor to ourselves by being uneducated, by not doing the research and not getting the research from credible sources. We've got to stop believing in organizations like the NRA and in organizations like Fox News. They lie, they deceive, they're manipulating you, and they're trying to indoctrinate you and your children. And they're trying to get you through your sense of fear. And we need to change that. And we are the only ones that can change that by spreading information, understanding the truth, and becoming involved in our legislative processes. That is all I have to say right now on gun control. But I'll be back, and you can read more of these points and other points that I've made in my article, Guns in America, The Vital Importance of Strengthening Gun Control in the United States, which you can read at my blog, www.ladyrhiannon824.blogspot.com. It's also published in the Daily Kos if you read that. So thank you for listening. Please comment if you like. Try to be nice, civil, and please subscribe, and much, much more is hopefully to come. Thank you.